Hey everyone, welcome to the final week of the regular season of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. Here we are back with co-op action. Not just any co-op action, EmoSaru co-op action. I'm a fear agent, and joining me is my good bud Frostbite 3030. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this race. Looking forward to this EmoSaru shenanigans. I hope these runners have a torturous existence and run to many bosses that they cannot beat and have a good time.
So this season is the first time we've had 3 co-op weeks. This is the third. So we took EmoSaru, which has been a staple in the 3 seasons that we've done, and we added a little wrinkle by throwing in a co-op. Now, usually when people run co-op, it's co-op all dungeons. This is not co-op all dungeons. It looks like the week we'll see if we can get the layout fixed. It's actually co-op EmoSaru defeat Ganon. So they don't have to do all dungeons like normal, but the wrinkle is you could go to a boss and it could be Trinex and you need the ice rod. So
yeah, exactly. Lots of variability in this mode. Sometimes it makes the layout easier with the enemies that are around. Sometimes it makes it more difficult. Also, we've been practicing a couple seeds, getting ready for this week as well. We've noticed, sometimes you can't rely on doing a tree pull right away because maybe you can't actually pull the tree pull, or maybe you just can't find an enemy that's actually killable on your way to the tree pull. So it does add a little bit of a wrinkle. Also makes for a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, EmoSaru is wacky. But that's what kind of makes it fun, is just trying to figure out how you're gonna switch it up. Right, it's like NMG's worst nightmare, because in NMG you practice all these specific strats, and EmoSaru takes those and throws those out the window. So stuff like Ganon's Tower and some of the more real execution centric dungeons can be a lot tougher than they normally are. So
yeah, I've also found it's a very fun quote unquote fun mode to race, because you have to sort of play under a different mindset, right? Like, it's really easy when you're playing an open seed that if you die or something to be very frustrated and figure you've probably thrown away the race, and most of the time you're probably actually right or close to it. In this mode, you might just have to do a bad boss fight that isn't really safely beatable first time by almost anybody in the community, and you might just have to go through like the back of Thieves Town, and it's ruthless, right? So I feel like having a very sort of even keel mindset is a very advantageous racing trait to have in this mode.
Yeah, it's all about adapting. So looking for what's probably the most important item besides a sword in this mode?
I mean, hookshot, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Hookshot is super important, because to be able to stun enemies and get by and get through rooms that are pretty insane can be really helpful. I mean, look at the Lost Woods there with those red guards. And also the lamp. Super overrated in normal mode for the most part. In EmoSaru, that lamp is hugely important.
Yeah, and I'll nominate a third, even I think maybe more under the radar item that I think is super important, is the powder. I think the powder, it's one item check. Powder kills anti-fairies, and it is the only thing that kills anti-fairies, and sometimes if you can't do that, it can make it really hard to pass certain areas in this game. I just was doing a practice seed, and the front rooms in Ice Palace were loaded with anti-fairies, and it was a problem. So anyways, it looks like GFE actually did a Houlihan to open, which I know he's fairly fond of doing. And it looks like there isn't a whole heck of a lot of rupee density. Now, they haven't got to the main part of CAC, but let's see if that pays off. On the other side, Emo already has mitts.
Wow. Oh man, the overall deaths are so costly too. You get to Kakariko, you die, you got to go all the way back to Kakariko. I found, just doing some practice as well, that playing extra safe in the beginning is the way to go, because these overall deaths are just add up.
Yeah,
they're almost worse than dungeon deaths in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the worst dungeon deaths are worse than the average overworld death, but no, you're definitely right. Dying is the worst thing that can happen. Playing safe, if it's even possible, is definitely what you want to do. And like it can just be really rough. And look at it looks like Mini Moldorm Cave literally just had everything in the game in it. Oh wow, what a find.
Yeah, so leaving Kakariko with Master Sword is definitely kind of where you want to be in Randomizer. I mean, that chicken hut can be super rough.
Yeah, see, that's a very good room where you play safe. Don't even try and... I agree exactly with what Duck's doing here. Oh, get them down. Okay, good. Get the enemies down before you even attempt to get that item. You could definitely make the mistake of trying to get that and end up dying.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Wow. I feel like everyone's going to get that. Was that the ice rod? I think it was the ice rod, right? It was hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's what the tracker's showing as well. So, ice rod's obviously super huge. I mean, obviously you always play Trinex Roulette in regular games, it seems, when you go into Eternal Rock looking for the ice rod. But now they don't have to worry about that, at least from the ice rod's perspective. Will the fire rod hold up its end of the bargain? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That was a flute on Lake Hylia Island as well. That's very good knowledge to have.
This is a lot of items right to start the game.
Yeah, it's like, are they going to go mode in sub 20 minutes? Like, this is crazy.
I know, what the heck.
I'm very intrigued to see if anybody can get a sub 1 hour in one of these.
I'm sure it's possible.
I feel like in a regular one, you'd say no problem. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough. But I think it's feasible as well. I mean, they seem to be finding everything.
The tough part again is the enemy shuffle or the boss shuffle is, for example, you don't need I'm not sure how logic totally works with this, but you don't need the bow to get to Armos Knights in Eastern, but then you get there and you could have a Trinex or something,
Yeah, that's exactly right. The bow is not required. The bow is basically required to get to the Helmasaur location. That's it, the entire game. But that is, the Trinex can show up in sort of like, I don't know what it is, 6 or 7 of the dungeon locations. A bunch of the other bosses can show up anywhere. And I believe this is played under the full boss shuffle rule set, in which, in theory, I guess 3 bosses at random are duplicated, although I think it can be a little bit different depending on certain circumstances, but that's in theory what's supposed to happen.
Right. All right, so we do have 3 crystals in the light world, so we are going to have to clear all of those dungeons out. Early boots, early mitts, Master Sword.
Yeah, there's just too much going on. GFE already going straight to Eastern.
Yeah, I like this play. Again, it's a bit scary to get back there, because these dark rooms, or specifically this dark room to get to the Armos Knights boss area, can be, not always, but can be just insane.
I feel like he's got... Oh, that was a blue goo. That gives him another advantage. I feel like as long as he maintains sword beams, it's a lot easier to do, and you can obviously just jump into the pit and get sword beams from the fairies. That would be definitely my strategy going back there, unless I found like the lamp or the fire rod or something like that. Would be to go with sword beams and hopefully just keep everything away from me as long as possible, and I don't care how long it takes, as long as I don't die. And then you go back there and it's like 2 roller bars and a chain chop, and that's
you're done. Yeah.
Only one of those enemies is a must-kill enemy. The rest of them can be anything.
Right.
So
Yeah, totally. All right. So
yeah, even like this is an interesting situation. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Nope.
I was gonna say the other thing is, like with GFE, it's like, do you even try and get the big key chest? Because I feel like you have to, but even that passage in the dark is not free. Now they
Mhm.
have boots and a sword, which mitigates a lot of it. Normally you're there pretty early, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just got full magic.
Got a mushroom. Where's this moon pearl gonna show up?
Pyramid.
Oh man. Oh, dude, that's something you don't really see often. Is Aga Tower and Randomizer? Ugh, that could
I
be.
want to see it.
That could be. I don't know.
Oh, looks like someone has the moon
Oh,
pearl.
it wasn't
Eastern.
Yeah, moon pearl in Sasha's closet.
Okay.
Sasha's closet. So
I pay important to the.
thanks, Chad. It's hard to keep track of. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of 4 racers at the same time. So shout out to our trackers today.
For sure. I saw him pick up the mushroom. I did not see him pick up the moon pearl.
Yeah. I totally missed Saha. So, all right, just short of Zora money, but gonna do all the other water checks here.
Yeah, and it looked like GFE just got roasted in the dark.
See, that's the thing
PFE.
about these doing these dungeons early is, yeah, normally this loadout for Eastern is cake, but Randomizer just throws a giant wrinkle in all of it.
Yeah, for sure. Even like,
hopefully he got all 3 items.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he did or not.
I have absolutely no idea. He got the mushroom, which is 1 item. I know that for sure. Even this path that Duck's doing, like to the middle to Dark Cross, like it's another thing that most experienced runners, it's just absolutely free. That snake room in particular can be absolutely brutal. I'm pretty sure he's in the Dark Cross room right now. Trying not to anger the mimic. It's the map. Very well done, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like lamps, the lamp is huge in Randomizer. Rescuing the old man can be game alternating dangerous. Like you could just get stuck there.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's a play I'm not even considering making from the front until I have like 8 hearts or something like that. And it's like, it's obviously it's different if you, I think if you flute up there, you can kind of peek your nose in and get a gauge for what the enemies are. And my theory is if I can get to the old man, I can get back. But I mean, we've all seen races that have been lost there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't presume that everyone has seen one. I will correct that statement to say there have been races that have been lost there.
Yeah. All right, so GFE does have Zora, just enough for Zora here. So we are going to see what Zora has. And someone found the book somewhere because EmoSaru's in desert now.
Yeah, P-Train has it as well. I'm not sure where it was.
I'm guessing one of the water checks. All right, it is boots locked, not a big deal because we have boots. Oh, yeah, exactly. Geez, look at that. A sword on Zora.
That's interesting.
How P-Train's already been to that area. Do you prioritize Zora at all, or you just gonna hope to find the other sword?
I feel with Master Sword, I'm definitely not prioritizing it, but I'm also trying to send P-Train, like if we're trying to get P-Train to check Catfish with Mir so he can get that sword maybe if the other one doesn't show up at some point fairly soon. That is pretty big though. That Temperate Sword is a big damage boost. It makes a huge difference in Randomizer, way more so than in the regular mode, just because of the number of high health enemies you end up having to kill sometimes.
So there's
the other thing is
Kingston. Go ahead.
I was just saying the other thing is Butter Sword's no joke in this mode either. I mean, it is sort of redundant, but there with certain enemies, Red Guards, Hinoxes, you can use it to get through them a little more quickly.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see how far. And another question that comes up in Randomizer is how much of Thieves Town do you want to do? Because you can just go and check the boss right away, and imagine that's what we'll see from apathyduck, especially in co-op, where if you don't find anything good, your partner can always go to the back later.
Yeah, I'm sort of in two minds in that, because like on the other hand, it's co-op, so like you can just go now, and if it's something, you gain double the advantage, sort of thing as well. If you get in there early and find it, and if it's nothing, your partner doesn't have to do it anyways. So I feel like if it's 2 or 3 items, I would be super tempted to go back. Ooh, that's the mirror. That's awesome.
Oh, that's huge. Yep.
I would still be I would definitely be going and peeking the boss, at least because it's Randomizer, it's boss shuffle. You can just dart straight into the boss room. If you can kill it, fine. If not, he's got the mirror. He can mirror right out, and you know what that boss is for later reference. And if it's something you can't kill, that's great, because maybe you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Half magic up top there. That's another item that you don't mind having, especially since Emo found that blue cane, which you can, again, in Randomizer, put to really good use in some of these rooms.
Landmo, nice boss. I noticed apathyduck did not pick up the key. Not using ice rods, Droughts breaking my heart.
This is a pendant dungeon, by the way. And we have all four.
I just feel like this
completely different spots, man. This is insane.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
The fact that the seed has opened up so much that there's, with mitts, there's so many different places that they can go. We got our bow and hammer.
Was that a hammer too? Yeah, wow.
That's really big. Yeah.
So, like, what are they missing? A fire source and cane? Maybe
really?
They need the flute as well. They need a medallion.
Yeah, maybe, but they know where the flute is, and they've got at least one team knows where the flute is, and they
and they can get it. Yeah,
access to it. Yeah.
This come on, I want sub 20-minute go mode, or no mode at least. Let's do this.
Yes. So, both teams now going up to the mountain with GFE on the mountain already getting his goods. We see Emo doing the same play. Now, rescuing the old man, not in logic, but with access to the flippers and the flute, Death Mountain is fully in logic at this point.
Yeah, exactly. At least, they all have to know where it is. They've all been up in the flippers. Oh, and this is obviously a really smart play. They got the mitts, they got everything. Nice boost from that BMOS. Wow. High-end strats from EmoSaru right there. That actually was a really good boost. I'm going to have to look for BMOS and keep that in mind.
So Emo's going to pick up her hammer and share that information with apathyduck. This seed has gone by so fast that we really haven't even talked, really what's going on. Like, we're playing
the stakes co-op. Or anything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're playing co-op, which isn't a normal mode. So both teams are in a voice call right now, sharing information as they go. And the way you win is both players have to finish in its average time. So both finishing as best as they can is important. So you look at the points of the teams. Superior Affinity 12, U10 Clan with 6. This is the last week of the season. Both teams have been eliminated from the playoffs. But there is stuff at the stake for what they're playing for. So can you quickly mention real quick what the teams are playing for?
Dude, why you throw me under the bus like this? I have no idea. No, they're playing for basically to avoid relegation into the open division for next year. The lowest team from each division gets relegated, and the highest team in each division, I'm not even sure how it works down there. Various teams get promoted from the lower weight.
Top 4 teams from the open.
Quote unquote lower.
Yeah, top 4 teams from the open after the playoffs will get invited into next season's Invitational. The bottom 4 teams of each division will get relegated to the open if they want to play again. And these 2 teams are playing to not be relegated, which is pretty big. They also, because of the tiebreakers, strength of schedule, and records against other teams in the division matter. So for the top 3 teams in the Skullwoods division, the division that they're playing in, These results really do matter and can affect the outcome of who makes it into the playoffs.
Well, it matters for two of the teams, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to be smart for
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, we did get the layout updated as well. We are in week 7, co-op info share Randomizer, and it is defeat Ganon, which is different than the other co-ops, which is all dungeons. So
yeah, but this is absolutely bananas, and basically for U-Tank Land, I'm not sure if it's win to stay in, but it's almost down to that at this point for them. Sphere Affinity, I think from looking at the various iterations that Drossi had so thankfully thrown together at some point, has a little more leeway, but they want to win this badly too.
For sure.
This is my favorite boss to see in Hera. Vidi is so terrible here, especially if you come in here with a hammer only early. Jiffy's got Tempered Sword and Bow. This is basically a free boss because the goo makes a huge difference on Vitreous, obviously. Being able to traverse him up to the side makes him so much freer.
And we are going to look at Hype Cave, and that's nothing in there. P-Train picking up his flute. And Frostbite, I just found out that the Fire Rod is on Lumberjack.
Oh, wow. Did both teams scout that?
I'm not sure. Chat is informing us that Fire Rod is on Lumberjack. Totally missed that early on.
So that's hard required.
Now, Fire Rod is 100% required because Skullwoods is a crystal.
You know the best part is like I know these runners would go for Lumberjack Dark if they had the Fire Rod and it was a different item up there, because it's the Fire Rod.
Oh,
that basically
Fire Rod,
required.
100%. Loving these strats from Emo. Just spamming the cape here and using it to dash through.
Yeah, I think that basically put them all on death's door. Yeah, it looks like they're basically one-hitting. Got to stay a little safe now, though.
Yeah, she did take a little bit of a hug.
Yeah, and just unfortunately having Master Sword on and GFE had oh, she's gonna use the bow, yeah, the Tempered Sword, so this'll be free. Wow, extra shot. Is there an eye somewhere? Oh, this happens sometimes here. Yeah, he just doesn't, he'll never come out of this phase. You can just kill him straight up. He will never. No, this is fine. You just have to do the full damage here, but this is free as long as you don't walk into him.
To just hammer?
You can't ever shoot him. You can't ever shoot him with the arrows, but yeah, you could hammer him. And I think you actually have to do like the full, like it's like normally, like you can kill the eye before the little eyes normally. It's just doesn't generally happen that way.
Sure.
But yeah, that's fun to see.
So that BMOS making Hookshot Cave an adventure there. All right. So we know that Fire Rod is on Lumberjack now. Thanks again, chat. Which means we we need that. There's no way you're doing Dark Aga, right? There's no way. In Randomizer.
Oh God, I feel like honestly, I'm dumb. If we had nothing to do, if there was one check and the other person could do Dark Aga, there's a potential that I might go for it. But no,
man.
Why would you try this? Like it's gonna go badly. Like I you know, on the other hand, like let me make a positive lobby point for it. If you get good enemies, it's actually easier. They not only help illuminate the pathways, but they're not dangerous. Oof. Apathyduck going for the heart. Oh, he used the fairy back there. That's kind of funny. Going for that fake Flicker Fairy revival. Not quite getting it. But no, I'm a big proponent of Dark Aga normally. I've practiced it quite a bit, even without Fire Rod, because I feel like if there's something there that's advantageous to me, I want to go for it early.
Yeah.
But no, it seems like a crazy idea.
All right, so so we have access to so much. They've done pretty much all of the overworld at this point. We
like Swamp Palace is the next play, right?
Yeah, now they've got the access to the hammer. And Emo almost getting that hover. The hover for some reason is a little bit tougher than some of the other hovers. I'm not sure why that is. I speak from experience.
I feel like the fact that it's a one-shot only probably makes a difference. Like, even if you're hovering Moldorn too, you know if you fall, it's just like, whatever.
Sure.
You can come back, but it's also not truly important either. You can save good out of it. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I feel like at this point, you think Mire and Swamp are the two plays you'd make for your two teams? Without Kane, Mire's
Probably.
kind of annoying.
Yeah, Swamp
And
seems likely. Eastern or Pod is also available, but again, there's no lamp yet. But actually, I find Dark Turtle Room to be a lot easier in Enemizer than just the vanilla version, actually.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
most enemies, especially if you have like a Ether or something, I think I saw Emo pick up Ether off of Desert Ledge. You usually just Ether them, or you don't need to hammer them. Is my point. You can just start spinning to winning in that room.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the enemies will show up, and if one of them shows up, you'll get enemies crossover, so you can see their shadows and stuff. It's definitely a lot easier.
Yeah. Is P-Train activating his flute? I don't think I saw apathyduck activate his flute. I think he actually did Old Man, even though he did pick up his flute. So that is.
You're right. He definitely did. I didn't even think anything about it.
So Apathy and P-Train gonna get their flutes. We're gonna see Smith Chain from GFE here. And man, so Lamp, Samaria, possibly Medallion is all that we need.
Yeah, I feel like Pod is another play that it's kind of annoying without the lamp, I guess, but they could probably get through it now with they have multiple mail upgrades.
You know what's funny is I find of all the dark room, I find of all of the dark rooms in the game, for Enemizer, Pod is actually I find the easiest to get through. Like
it's generally
than Eastern.
Yeah, the Dark Maze isn't too bad because it keeps enemies away from you. They can't just like if you get a guard, he's not chasing you from the whole length of the dungeon. You know what I mean? Like he's funneled into the pathways, so you can kite them around a little bit. And there's no like Eastern room where you have 6 weak enemies normally that turn into 6 random enemies in Enemizer, right? They're all sort of, you know, you get easier enemies mostly in Pod in the Dark. One of the interesting things is the TR Darkroom can be really hard, actually, and that you can, if you don't get an enemy that you can see in that room, it's just black. There's no, you got to know the timing, or you're not getting out of there.
For sure. All right, so we've seen 2 of the bosses. We've seen Vidi up at Hera, and there's Ether. So that's the only medallion that we need as far as crystal dungeons go. Turtle Rock was Bombos. That is a pendant. So Samaria, and there's Bombos. Yeah, just in case. Oh man, Lamp and pendant Turtle Rock. Come on, game.
Let's do this.
Like, I mean, honestly, I just want to see blind. I want to see dark. I really want to see dark Aga Enemizer. Yeah. Man, maybe
I'll steal this seed from the room and try it later. Yeah. I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know. I don't think it, because you hit DM the seeds, it doesn't even work that way. But nice powder find in Checkerboard Cave.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, we talked about hookshot, we talked about powder, we talked about lamp being important, and boy, is it ever important.
Okay, that Spike Cave is a full heart. Normally, you're probably a little less disappointed than you might normally be finding that there.
Mm-hmm. We do see GFE in Swamp Palace now, so. And it looks like
so if you're P-Train, I mean,
I'm gonna play it for Pod.
Yeah, I like this play a lot. If you're P-Train, do you go into Mire after you're done with Desert here without the Canis Maria, or what's on your mind at that point?
I think Pod has to be. I really like where Apathy is at this point.
Yeah, the other thing,
a lot of items can clear it all.
I gotta, that Bombos is, you know where that fire rod is. You just found Bombos. Like, the lamp's a nice palace, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's blocking Kane. I want to see some bomb jumps get rejected. I'm on for all in an Ice Palace Enemizer.
Oh yeah, that's right. The sprites can affect the Ice Palace bomb jump, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. especially if you don't know about it and you repeatedly think you're getting it over and over again until the point that you go
Right.
stark mad and quit the game.
Yeah. Oh
It's
man, I
funny,
love powder so much in Randomizer. I love it.
It
Because those
might
stupid
be
anti-fairies, man.
yeah. They kill your health, they kill your magic. Not only that, they're unkillable, and with cape, I guess you can get past them, but then you're burning magic the whole time too. Powder is so good, and on top of that, when you kill them, you get 8 hearts.
Yeah.
It looks like GFE's going straight to the back of Swamp Palace.
Not even attempting bomb diver down. I'm a little disappointed.
I would definitely. I mean, I don't generally go for bomb diver down because I'm not good at it, but I think this isn't a bad call.
I mean, it's Randomizer, sure, but oh man, that pokey giving Duck the what for there.
Another terrible enemy that Gladder is sort of isolated in the normal game that Randomizer exposes.
Is P-Train doing it? Is P-Train doing the thing?
Yes.
Wow. Oh no!
Have they just not even checked escape yet?
Oh man, I was. If anyone was to do it, I would expect it from P-Train. Honestly,
maybe he's just using this time to open up his darkroom map so he can get prepped. Have they not even checked escape yet, though? That's hilarious. And I
mean, the seed was fast and furious, man. Yeah, the seed was super fast, giving us all the items like right in the beginning. There was no way for us to keep up with all that.
Oh, he just runs into the Armos Knights in the back swamp, unfortunately. Although I guess they're kind of kitted out. None of the bosses are really going to be an issue as long as they can get them down. Now, I would definitely be, if I was GFE, picking up that Bombos medallion would be the next thing I would be doing for sure, because I'm not wanting to get, next thing you do, you get cold stared in a boss room, right? When you don't have to, as well.
Yeah. Swamp actually surprises me that now that I look at the crystals and pendants, I didn't realize that it was a pendant.
Yeah, I didn't either, to be honest with you. I just felt like
so far it's been empty. And
Duck using a fairy room, I literally didn't even know existed.
Yeah. I mean, nobody ever goes there except for in weird modes like this.
Yeah, I got
making use of the
when I started playing
net.
Nice, yeah, exactly. When I started playing Door Rando, I thought I opened all those bomb walls that weren't bomb walls and went places, but I guess not. Yeah, you're right about the pendant thing, because if this is nothing, this is just like a good solid, 5-6 minutes of
total loss,
of average time. He despawned the key, he doesn't know what to do. He's got to kill some enemies. There's nothing you can do, you got to mirror out. He despawned
the key? Oh, yeah. No.
So he had too many sprites on the screen, and when he went to pick up the pot to get the key, it despawned, and I think he has to. There we go. Reset the room. Yeah, I don't think it permanently does it. It's just a vision. Like it just does it for that iteration of the room loading, I think. But yeah, that happens in other places. It's normally not there because you don't have the enemy issue there normally. But the back of Skull Woods, if you just walk in and pick up one of the pots on the side, it doesn't give you anything, but they have small goos under them, and the big goo in the back. Everyone's probably tried to get that at some point and had it not show up. Or the arrows in GT.
Sure, yeah, for sure. Definitely had that one. And so both Swamp and Pod have not really paid out, though. Again, we're honestly not looking for that much. Right now, the Lamp and Samaria are the two big things that actually the two only things that we're looking for, because we can complete every boss except for Trinex at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's only a temporary problem. So hopefully they run into one before they reach the solution to it.
Yeah. A Pod is a common place for that jerk to show up.
Yeah, exactly. And Emo is making the swamp play as well. It looks like, yeah, for sure.
So swamp coming up
Empty?
empty. Swamp coming up empty. This is the last check. Yeah, nada.
That is surprising.
So we've got a lot open still. We've got ice open. We've got mire open, though not completable because you can't get to the back. Turtle Rock is open, but you can't do anything without Smartus. So forget that. We've seen most of desert. I think we got both items out of Skull Woods.
Yeah, ice.
So it feels like ice is the answer, right?
Yeah, I'm like obviously just trying to pay attention to all the screens. I'm not sure what the overworld checks have left, but I can't feel there's too many.
No, I mean they were all the overworld stuff was, as far as I could tell, pretty complete. When we saw all
like
of
they
Death
had
Mountain,
boots early.
we saw, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming they got both items out of Tower of Hera. They didn't basement leave. Yeah, I feel like ice is the play, and obviously if the second partner, I would argue they should just clean up a dungeon while you're doing ice if you're the lead.
Yeah.
Rather than do something like dive mire. I think that's a mistake. Mistake might be the wrong word, but I definitely strongly feel that at some point late in the game, having both people explore new spots is not necessarily the best strategy, because sort of by definition, one of those is going to be wrong and one person is going to find the thing. And if you have full clearable crystal dungeons that you have to catch up on, maybe that's a better use of time. Since they have boots, they have good swords, they're not really going to get that much faster.
But it's funny for us. There's not.
Do they even have a single option like that? Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of open clearable crystal dungeons at this point. I think that's the real problem.
And the one that they are, it's like Hera, right? Well, Hera's annoying. They don't really want to go up there.
And there's no real value in doing it now.
Pod for GFE would be an option, I think. But it looks like he's probably just going to dive into Mire anyways, so...
Actually, Pyramid Fairy could be in the play here as well. With Hera and Ice.
No,
it's
yeah,
just
for
Moth
sure.
back there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he always seems to be able to find a few spikes to annoy you, though.
Yeah, for sure. "35 minutes and full clearing most of the game is pretty intense. That's why I love co-op, though.
Well, yeah, GFE returning this mushroom. Was that mushroom in Swamp?
It was
no
in
idea where it
Eastern,
was.
I believe. I believe it was in Eastern.
It's not relevant
No value,
anyways.
though, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's just going in there now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we saw all of Eastern. I don't think Utane Clan's been in Eastern at all, so...
Oh, and I think GFE died in the dark going for, I think,
That's
the big key
right.
chest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So obviously that can't be Lamb, and if it is, we'll have some very serious questions. But definitely could be could be the Canis Sparia.
All right, so
But
Ice
that
from
Bobo is
GFE.
super suspicious.
Here we go.
Yeah. This
Oh
is,
yeah,
this is
for
really
sure,
good night.
for sure. Stupid anti-fairies.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think we decided in our practice is that some of the things you skip, like powder, is a hard pickup unless it's way out of the way in this mode.
Yeah. Oh, it's always fun. Wall Masters and Ice Palace. You know how many
Why do
times
they
I've been
always show up
grabbed
at
by those
Ice
stupid
Palace?
Wall Masters in the basement as I'm trying to fall down to the boss? That room can be terrible, and then you get a Wall Master to add to it. Ugh.
Yeah, I feel like I've earned my belts in the martial art that is getting picked up in that room in Ice Palace, and I'm now successfully able to avoid it. But yeah, my first thing I do when I walk in that room is I count the enemies. I think there's supposed to be 6 enemies in that room. If I don't see 6 enemies, I'm standing in a way that I can dodge a Wall Master to see what's coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's other rooms in this spot that are good, especially like they don't have Kane, unfortunately, but the room where you have to pick up the block that has the bunny beam under it, you can often seem to it times it perfectly that when you walk in and as soon as see, look at that one there with that Wall Master there. As soon as you're picking up the block, the Wall Master comes down and grabs you.
Yep. Yeah, it was good timing by GFE. I was wondering what he was waiting for, but that made sense. He didn't want to get grabbed as he fell. Everyone's had that happen to him in Skull Woods before.
Oh yeah, get 1.0 glitched and Wallmaster is a great combo. I love all these Hinoxes and Ice Palace. This guy's on the Switch. Dude, this is my favorite.
Oh yeah, where they're throwing the bombs and blowing the switch. Yeah, I love that. So this enemy's not going to affect the bomb jump there. These little shadow dudes.
Yeah, it's actually this first enemy in this next room. It would have been that like red.
So they should just got to rename this to Hinox Palace because the Hinoxes are going nuts, and GFE has to be super careful. He might have a fairy, so I know we've seen at least one fairy in a bottle.
Yeah, for sure. If he doesn't, if he has, I think if he has any sort of health refill, I would be using it right now.
I don't think he got powder yet.
No, I don't think I think it's not on the tracker, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Oh, geez.
Oh, this is trouble. This is trouble. Okay.
Those things are the worst. Oh, and there is a Trinex. Confirmed fire rod needed for Trinex in Eastern. So,
Oof.
We haven't seen any repeats yet. The cape. Huh. I mean, again, the safety items are nice, but I don't know if we saw anything on Bumper Ledge or not.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't even remember if I scaled Bumper Ledge when I'm playing, let alone
I know
4 people are all in different spots.
Yeah.
Wow, they're fighting a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
is it Pyramid Fairy? You mentioned Pyramid
what's
Fairy.
crazy about the seed. Yeah, Pyramid Fairy is available after the clear ice here.
Like, honestly, have they found an item, I guess Bombos, in the last 25 or 30 minutes even? Like, it's crazy how many items they found right at the start, right?
Totally. And this second item is a shield, so there's got to be something here, right? Unless we're just completely forgetting something.
Which is very, very plausible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Okay, it looks like Duck's going up to Catfish. I don't remember seeing Catfish from the other side, but that doesn't mean they didn't check it.
Yeah, I think P-Train checked it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, baby.
Classic Samaria Nice Palace.
So you mirror out in Icebreaker, right?
Yeah. All right, so Sphere Affinity, they don't know this, but, well, no, they know where, I think they know where Fire Rod is, so they could, in theory, just be in go mode, right?
I guess you just go for it, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, when do you pull the trigger?
Honestly, I might just send someone there and see what it's like. Mm-hmm. If it's terrible, you bail out. If it's fine, you just both do it and go mode everything.
Yeah. Thread, Moldworm, and Ice Palace.
Well, the problem is they need a fire. Oh yeah, they need a fire source. They have someone found half magic. Am I right in that, or am I?
Yeah, half magic is on top of Spectacle Rock.
Okay, so they know where that is. Yeah, if I would probably go for it, honestly. Kane makes that room with the pits a lot easier.
Yeah, you got Kane.
They got Ether. They can freeze
you got Ether,
the enemies.
You got Bombos.
Yeah, I would go for it. Like I said, test the waters. If it's absolutely awful, you just bail out.
Is it? Is it?
He's going for it. Yeah.
You know what's interesting is if he's going to make this play, he has both Hera and Ice cleared. Maybe do Pyramid Fairy first.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
All right, buckle
Probably
up.
just
Here
didn't
we
even
go.
think about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like this play, honestly. Is it just in TR?
I told you. That's already told you where it was.
If you're P-trained, you just go here as well?
He's gonna get his. He's probably gonna get Samaria first, right?
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, you just do a crystal dungeon that you can do, even if it's Hera. You just go up there and do it while Jiffy's in here. Yeah, that room's easier than normal.
Yeah, the Hinox is nice. And actually, be able to see the enemies is actually really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it all comes down to that pit room floor, right?
Yeah, 100%. Who knew we'd start this week off with Dark Aga and Atomizer?
Dude, I'm so happy. You don't even understand how happy I am right now. The fact that GFE is currently lost in the maze makes me not necessarily as happy to see this, but there, he should be good now. Go down.
And there is a Gibdo there.
All right, I think that's where the chest is.
Apathyduck checking Lumberjacks, just now learning. So relaying that information to Emo, and they might be doing the same thing here.
God, I hope so.
And you see that he was about to go back into the warp, instead is making his way to Ice Palace. So let's see if
and GFE's having some serious problems in this dark maze as well.
Was he still stuck?
I think he made it out, or did he go back?
I think he
okay, he made it out. He just made it out.
Okay.
No, that's the next room. Yeah. I love that all these Hinoxes are in here. So this is the room that matters right here.
Of all enemies to be in here, I actually think Hinox's was probably some of the best.
Yeah, he's using the Samaria push strat, so he's going to try and push Samaria up. Or he's going to... Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's good. And that Hinox is showing the pathway off too. He should be fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made
it through. So Emo's actually going to do what I thought GFE was going to do, and that's do Pyramid Fairy. Oh, and has he got that fairy? He does.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
Because this is the last dark room. Does have to kill.
Yeah. I have no idea what's killing him, but he made it.
Yep.
I love seeing these enemies in kill rooms.
Sure.
I don't know what they're called. We call them the pickles. I don't know what their actual name is.
Yeah, I call them the pickles as well.
Especially back in the day when standard Mystery Escape didn't have swords, and you'd run into a pickle or an Atomizer, and it's like, oh, I can't kill that enemy.
So, rate that one. Pyramid Fairy just has 350 rubies, so no dice there for that lamp. As far as difficulty goes, an Atomizer, Dark Aga, how would you rate that one?
I don't know, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty low, right? Like, that was...
Yeah, for sure.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like the Hinoxes are like they're imposing looking enemies, but they're slow and they're visible. So they basically like that one. That the hardest part of that dark room without the fire rod is that last room with the pits and essentially hitting the cutoff to hit that thin walkway across the top. And the Hinox was literally standing there like a flagman on the side of the highway saying, "Come get me, come get me." So sure. Like the hardest part it seemed for GFE for whatever reason was the dark maze. I don't know if there was something in there bumping him, dead rocks, who knows? But he seemed to get a little bit lost trying to get over away from the chest back to the key door.
Mm-hmm. So Emo not doing Dark Aga. Yeah. Bravo. Emo actually in Mire, able to complete this dungeon as well, and shoot, might find the lamp here.
Yeah, and you have to dig out the big key anyways, so. Yeah, and I feel like they probably want to find silver arrows as well, even though it's not like obviously required or anything. But in things like the gauntlet climb, it can make a huge difference in your combat capabilities.
Sure.
Nice spike.
All right, so GFE going to pick up his fire rod now. P-Train loading up for that Aga climb.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to make it as well. Yeah, when do you see, this is so rare. Not only Dark Aga, but Fire Rodless, Dark Aga, Atomizer.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it was a meme play either. I feel like it was a really, it was a really legitimate, and I think the right play, right? Like, if you're comfortable, if you think you can do it, and what's the worst thing that happens? He goes up there and dies and goes to Mire or whatever, right?
Yeah,
like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, because that lamp is probably in a pretty evil spot. If it's not here in Mire, then it's probably Turtle Rock.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, maybe you don't need the fire rod to beat Turtle Rock at all. It's theoretically possible, highly improbable.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. For lamp and first chest of Turtle Rock would be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, logically, they need the lamp. It can't be. Yeah, it's got to be basically here or. It's not Pyramid Fairy, which they just checked. Have they checked all the tablets? I mean, I have to assume they have.
I believe so. Now, this room doesn't really change with Randomizer, the Stark room that Emo's in. And this next room with the spike is actually easier without that spike there, so...
Yeah, exactly. No, Dark Mire is actually probably easier without with Atomizer on, just on average as well.
Did you just see what happened to P-Train?
No, what happened?
He mirrored. I don't know if he got lost and that was on purpose, or if that was a quick swap, not realizing you're on mirror when you activate your item.
More like slow swap, am I right?
That's right.
I'll stay quiet for a couple minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you sit in timeout for just a minute there, Frost, for that one. All right, so I think we've seen every boss except for Argus. I don't think we've seen Argus or Helmasaur.
Has there been a blind yet?
No, there hasn't been a blind. No doubles so far.
There's Argus and the Mire boss.
Yeah. Swapped an eye for another eye.
I kind of like this Argus palette. It's really creepy looking.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I wish I had a high knocks counter going, like a golf stroke counter. I could count how many high knocks we saw in the feed.
Yeah.
It's got to be more than 100. Across all 4 screens. This is ridiculous. So it looks like P-Train's up into that far left side. Looks like he's pushing. He's probably looking for it to just the edge. Yep. Now he's going to dash over and he should be through. Yeah. Very, very nicely done.
Yep.
That green spiky thing there is actually a terrible enemy. I think it might be impossible to avoid if you don't have a sword charged up. It hits you automatically. I've died to that exact enemy in that exact spot before.
Oh, wow. So Sphere Affinity coming through and pulling off the Dark Aga. Really impressive.
Very, very bold, very impressive. Possibly, likely, even maybe at this point, a match-winning play.
Yeah. We see silvers there on Magic Bat. Nice pickup for the Yu-Tang clan.
Yeah, they need like super boots or something like that at this point, though. I feel that lamp, if it is in TR, and it looks like Emo is just finally biting the bullet and making the play.
Yeah.
This has to be one of the matches with the highest percentage of dark rooms aired in it that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this is close. As long as Yu-Tang clan is able to get through Aga as relatively quickly, you know, they both let's see, Emo finished Meyer, Duck is about to finish Meyer, so it's not like they're really far behind.
No, exactly. They've got dungeon leads right now. They've both teams have committed the same Swamp Palace play. Basically, Meyer is the difference at this point. Now, GFE and P-Train can go mode Meyer. I of course wasn't paying close enough attention to see if that makes a significant difference or not.
No, I think the route was basically the same between GFE and Yu-Tang clan. As long as GFE plays this fine, he should be okay. Don't want to be too aggressive here.
No, just survive.
Oh man, took a hit too. Man, how much is he sweating there with that half a heart?
I mean, especially it's always super embarrassing, both forgetting that you didn't push to talk and then talking to yourself for a minute, like I just did, and as well as dying to Argus.
For sure. I think Emo's pulling up the map to Aga Tower here.
That's for sure. I still have my new map saved. Like I think they're in a folder. They're in a folder on my desktop. They used to be just straight up like the image. The files were on my desktop.
Oh man, you have to love those ice rod strats on Argus there.
Really nicely done. I love the ice rod strats. Obviously, I really like it on Argus because I'm horrible at shooting silver arrows at that bouncing boy. Yeah, and as far as time invested, I'm pretty sure P-Train went. Did P-Train see the Trinix? He did see the Trinix in Eastern as well, right? So
yeah.
They've essentially, did, yeah. I think they've essentially had the same, more or less, checks, boss rejections, and plays in the seed, basically, right?
Yep. I think the Yu-Tang might have done just a bit more overroll checks as they got silvers and things like that. I'm not sure if P-Train and GFE did Graveyard Ledge either, but I can't be 100% sure.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I think like GFE died in Eastern, and I think one of the Tang clan, Yu-Tang clan, had a death somewhere early as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was apathyduck to some red guards somewhere in Lost Woods.
So Emo powering her way through, gets through the maze, and is just a room away from the real troublesome room here. We got Cold Stare in Desert.
I feel like getting a quarter heart piece was just from that, how easy that Cold Stare fight was for GFE.
You enjoy yourself a helicopter there?
Oh yeah. One of these days he's going to be dangerous.
It's just fun. This is what we come here
Yeah,
for, right?
it's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't understand computer programming, but I would really like to know what causes it to do this. It makes me happy.
it's great. It's so good. And down
And it's that was one of the that boss can actually be a little bit annoying if he likes to charge down. He can almost touch the spikes and kind of pin you there. Yeah, but he was very kind to P-Train there.
Nicely
that's more of a problem.
EmoSaru as well.
Yeah, really clean, got through. And that Skull Woods boss is much more of a problem early game because that boss slot is, or the boss room, I should say. I'm not playing Free Enterprise. Is nasty. Like those spikes make a huge difference. And like you get Vitreous there, you get Argus there. You go in with 6 hearts, you think you're fine. Maybe not for Vitreous, but for Argus, and you just die because it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you could land on Argus. I've had that problem a couple different times where you just automatically take 2 hearts of damage if you fall in.
If it's Armos Knights, you land inside one of them and you can't move. Yeah. That's always great. Yeah. So.
Oh, and I mean, we talk about teams mimicking each other. P-Train mirrored out of Agawa, and so does apathyduck. So again, not sure if he got stuck or if he accidentally mirrored, but
it looked like he
gonna give it another go.
It looked like he did pick up the key. I wonder if he might have said, "To heck with trying to find my way back to the door. I'm gonna get the key, mirror out, and just it's a lot easier to get to the door from the other door." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think one of our trackers, Yoinker's wife, let us know that GFE was getting bullied by, it seemed like a Gibdo in that room, so maybe that's some knowledge that Emo passed on to Apathy, like, hey, don't even bother trying to go back, just mirror out and come back up, it's probably quicker. And shout outs to our trackers tonight. We haven't even got that in yet. We've just been trying to just even literally, it's like a roller coaster, just trying to hold on, roller coaster without a lap bar. Shout outs to Yoinker's wife and Arteril helping us with literally showing us where like major items are to be missed. So huge shout outs to them.
Yeah, the rest of the seed is actually pretty elementary now. And now for the runners, once Apathy gets through this dark room here, it's just like rush dungeons.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Duck just took a little bit of a tumble right on that last step of that annoying of this room here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do hope they find the lamp in TR just so we get some closure.
And he gets through. Nicely done. Yeah, this is good. Man, this has been an insane seed. Insane.
This league has been insane from start to finish. I mean, I'm not going to go into specifics, but so many of the matches have been like thrown away at the end, or just lead changes, and just weird things have happened. Terrible seeds. The fact that the first seed of the Invitational co-op last week had all 4 runners do Dark Agate to get the fire on. Like I'm just very, very happy, man, right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they made it look easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like at some point people blow up how hard Dark Agate is, mainly because the Fire Rod makes it a lot easier. But without the Fire Rod and normal enemies, it's definitely a challenge. Although, as we saw, some of the Hinoxes, they weren't that dangerous, and they gave a little bit of a pathway. But they didn't really lose a whole heck of a lot of time there. Like, it wasn't as clean as if you'd had the lamp. But it's also kind of easy in Enemizer just to accidentally get bumped off and fall into the pit there anyway. So a bunch of that time is sort of, theoretically not wasted. But no, they did it really well. I feel like the fact that they both probed it and found it doable and just went for it was absolutely the right play.
Yeah, I loved it. This is how you start the week, man. This is how you start the week. We've got 31 other matches in the Invitational. Gonna be trying to pull this all off.
Yeah, this is wild. So I guess the next thing into consideration is like Ganon's tower. Are they going to get there at the same time as teammates? Like, what route do you pick? I have a penchant to not like to do the Ice Armos room on this in Randomizer if I can avoid it. So I try to route that last somehow. I feel like in 1v1 races or in one player, you see a lot of Dark Magician strats because it guarantees that you can check the Compass room before Ice Armos in case Ice Armos is a bad boss fight that's, you know, maybe they got lots of health, these runners can all do it, but it can be a very slow fight there.
For sure. Helicopter number 2 for us today as EmoSaru attempts to navigate the way through this.
I just love the fact that, like, at any one point you look in this race, there's a good chance someone's in a dark room.
Yeah, there's a lot we haven't seen because of that lamp.
Yeah, this is a seed that you know, you're kind of happy that you got some really experienced runners that got this. This could have been a bit of a pain, you know, if you had a newer team in the open division or something like that. They're like, well, we know we want to do Dark Aga, but are we really going to do Dark Aga and Randomizer? Like, you know, a lot of people are, you know, or newer runners especially, you don't really want to do Dark Aga ever, right? You know, when it comes up more often is, you know, sort of your key sanity modes or whatever, where you might see something you need there early.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like a lot of times you say, I'm not going to learn Dark Aga, then you find a seed that you run into that doing Dark Aga would be really beneficial, and you're like, well, guess what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see. GFE about to pick up crystal number 6. Looks like P-Train is going to be getting crystal number 5. And we get to see our first Trinex fight here from GFE.
Yeah, Trinex is an interesting boss on this Randomizer. The Firehead spawns really fast.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's common is because the Trinex room in TR is so big. You'll see GFE did that really cleanly, but there's a lot of issues with getting pinched into the corner. You just turn so fast, it seems.
Yeah, for sure.
It's super rude, especially you get them in like that Landmo 2 spot in GT because there's that lamp or the shooter or whatever in the corner. So it actually turns a tile early, and you definitely have seen a lot of runners take deaths to that exact sort of move. Happens once though, right? Most of these folks probably got those out of their system.
Yeah. All right, so GFE is probably our first runner up in Ganon's Towers. All he has to do is go back and fight his helicopter.
Yeah, don't choke GFE. Helicopter's tough. I'm just giving him a hard time. But no, he's played really well in this seed. He had a really clean cool and stir fight specifically. He obviously had really well done in the Dark Aga room, as they all have done. It's like you said earlier about the muscle memory and the NMG nightmare that Randomizer is. They did find the boots fairly early, I guess, which mitigates a lot of that because not only do they find the boots, but the boots and the sword basically in the same spot, so that you can get that sort of. A lot of the muscle memory comes back, frankly, when you get the boots. You obviously have to be paying attention for enemies. You can't dash through, but most of them you can. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gotta clean up all those dungeons as quick as you can now. So, Emo not too far behind. Just needs to. I'm not sure where the pod big key is. I think it's in the back. She's gonna have to go grab that and then finish off Eastern, and then she'll be up. To GT. P-Train's actually in a really good spot too as well because he just has to do finish off Eastern here, and then he can do Hera right before he heads into GT.
Yeah, I want to say the big key in pod was in the top of the Dark Maze, but that's just I'm not great at remembering things.
Sure. What a way to
Looks
end
like
the
AppleDuck
season.
with it. Oh yeah, what a
Right?
blast! And AppleDuck with that knowledge, no silvers are there going to pick them up.
Yeah, they're definitely worth.
GFE throwing out bombs here.
It's a little interesting. That's what that conveyor.
Yeah, I don't think it's I think it's probably like I feel like just watching this is definitely taking him longer than it took the runners that used hammer, but I feel like in certain rooms the bombs can definitely be a wise choice. And yeah, exactly like you pointed out, he was throwing the bombs in the right spot, and then the conveyor belt just moving them away from the boss. It's like,
yeah. All right, we haven't done this for a couple of weeks now because of community, but we're heading up to Ganon's Tower.
Oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm gonna say 14.
So the number that Frostbite just guessed is the number of checks that are available in Ganon's Tower for the GT Big Key to be. Like I said, we haven't been playing this because we've been playing Key Sanding for the last few weeks. So get your guesses in chat as to where you think that will be, between 1 and 22, and win some free internet points to brag about to all your friends. GFE going out of his way to pick up half magic on his way up here. I like this. I think it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree. That gauntlet can be made free. They have ether. A lot of enemies are one-shottable by ether.
Yeah.
And you don't want to use all your ether, and then it's like, oh, hi, Cold Stare.
Right. Yeah, I think I was doing a practice, and I ended up using ether in, I think it was like Thieves Town, and Gamma told me like, no, don't use magic. What if you come across Cold Stare? And I was like, oh, it's not gonna be a big deal. And then I go to the boss in Thieves Town, and it was Cold Stare.
You obviously blame Gamma for summoning him by mentioning it, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Sure. Yeah, totally. All right, so P-Train got a mirror and do Hera, and GFE's on his way, so make sure you get your guesses in here. We're talking about this division that these teams are in. You are actually in this division, in the Skullwoods division. Not only are you in the division, you were the first team to guarantee a playoff spot in the division in the entire league. Not only that, Frost, undefeated. How? What happened? How did that happen?
I mean, luck, honestly. Like, we're good runners, right?
No,
but
you're not.
I feel like when push comes to shove, it's all about not having your terrible runs in your league matches. You can have your terrible runs in your ladder matches. Yeah. You have your terrible runs in practice. And frankly, everyone makes mistakes. The mistakes that we made in our runs were not punishing to the way they could be, and mistakes that our opponents made were more punishing. And, we're all pretty good runners. I'm probably the worst executor on our team, and I like to think I'm decent at least. And so I feel like we have a pretty good chance most weeks. And just, we didn't throw away any matches. We didn't make catastrophic mistakes. And, I feel like, in the matchups that we had, like underdog matchups, like I raced Pika Pals, I feel like he's a better player than me. I got kind of lucky and I beat him. I got lucky against you, right? Like, so when you look at it, it's like you got to be good enough to win the matches and then don't make mistakes and then get lucky. That's it. Only that. We're gonna get O2'd this week, though. You watch.
How about getting lucky with number 2 in the Stalfos room there from GFE?
Really nice. Even got a whole plethora of keys, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, like we barely had any time to even talk about the GT Big Key. Doing the known as Dark Magician strats, where you hand over to the Stalfos room first, and it's able to pick up that big key and a key and ready to go. So congratulations to Phantom SVT for winning your 19 internet points.
I see that one of those rats incognito took a big bite out of GFE there, so he's got to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, I mean, GT is not, again, most runners have practiced the GT climb many, many times. and it's just not the same in Randomizer. So you have to adapt. So far, looking pretty good though. Gibdos can be annoying, but with I guess
Yeah,
Ether.
Ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all these will go down to Ether as well.
Yeah. And look at that. A nice full magic refill for it as well.
Yeah, those mini Helmosaurs are super annoying just because the ice and the tiles, and you gotta hit them from not the front. Just freeze them or whatever this does.
Yeah. Almost too
I'm not
easy.
up on the lore.
And Viddy getting stuck in that spot that Emo did there in Hera for P-Train. This time with Temper just slashing away. And we do have Argus. I believe the door will open as soon as you kill all the puffs.
Yeah, as soon as he hops off the screen, it opens because it's like the same thing, like Mimic Clip or whatever, right? I think the sprite's off the screen, so the game thinks he's dead, and the door opens.
Yeah, and
he didn't even hop up there. That was weird.
Yeah, Jiffy's done enough Randomizer. He's one of those weirdos that actually likes this mode.
Exactly.
To know that you don't have to. Oh, dude, does have to be careful. Get knocked off here.
Yeah, exactly. He has a blue potion, I think, right?
Yeah, I would never be afraid to pop it too early, right? Like, you just do not want to die.
Yeah, especially in one of those rooms where you get knocked off and get whacked a couple times on the way down, and it's like you go from 3 to 0. Caping it up. Yeah, see, he's got a really clean strat figured out. Exactly.
Yeah, he's done this a lot. Again, he likes this mode. What a weirdo. Who likes this mode?
Oh, looking at this might be why he hasn't used his blue potion, because he knows he has to use Fire Rod to light these torches. And I guess he can pick up the magic pot here, though, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, wait, he also is thinking I have to use the Fire Rod to light the... Oh, and he's just going to use it. Interesting. I mean, what if I miss Torch Glitch? Then you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, sure.
He doesn't have silver arrows, right? So...
No. He's going to go out of his way to look for them, though. We know that he will not find them here. All right, Emo on her way up to GT. Apathyduck not too far behind. Does still have to do hair as well. But looking to be in the bag for Sphere Affinity. Shovel, in case you want to dig something. We've got our second. This is a bad one. This is not a good one to have up here.
Yeah,
I think.
And GFE doesn't have many bombs. Like, my strategy on this boss is to heck with the hammer. I'm bombing him from the side, and I'm shooting him from the side with arrows.
Yeah, unlike Skullwoods, you know, there's no conveyor here, so tossing bombs actually works pretty well.
Well, yeah, and look at where he is right now. Like, if you're down there trying to hammer him, you don't got a lot of leeway. In theory, you don't really fall off from the recoil of the hammer, but it seems like it happens. Okay, he's got the mask off.
All right, nicely done. P-Train also making work of that ether medallion here in GT.
You just watch how fast this is, and it's like, are the enemies in vanilla killed by ether? Can I do this normally?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
The like horse guys definitely are not.
All right, Aga 2 for GFE.
Did they just spawn in like the spot where they appeared? That was really interesting.
That was really weird.
I gotta see that the next time when P-Train gets up there. I felt like none of them moved. They just insta-spawned, all 3 of them. I've never seen that.
These have actually been pretty awkward spots. GFE to make the most of it there. This should be nice. Don't get a blue ball. Oh, okay. That was it.
Down to
Number
1.
6.
I have no idea how to gauge these seeds, but this seems like it's been a pretty quick seed.
I mean, we're at 120, so I would say it's, again,
I guess my question
so many
is,
items early on.
I know, and like, have you ever done a regular seed that wasn't all dungeons co-op? I don't think I've ever done like a just 7-7 defeat cannon co-op before.
Yeah, I've been doing some practice with a gamma to get ready for this.
Oh yeah, I've been doing some practice of these, and this is faster than any of the ones we've done for sure.
The one that we did was I think 117, but that's because we're Team Kappa.
Exactly.
All right, Chief, he down to 1 heart. Does have to be careful. I don't think he has. I don't know if he's got any more magic, and does have to get that torch glitch.
Yeah, this is a little more dicey than I'd feel comfortable with.
I was surprised to see him use the cape there, but I guess with 1 heart, wanted to make sure he survived.
Yeah, and I just feel like.
Did you see that? P-Tray said no to Helma and just hovered it.
Nice. Makes sense. I mean, it's his whole fight.
Does get the torch glitch. Nicely done. And does have another blue potion. All right, so he's in the clear. Just 12 swings away.
Yeah, I feel like filling up blue potions before going to GT is a good safe bet.
Mm-hmm. Setting up for the triple here. P-Train not too far behind. Should be close.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
He looks a little nervous. I don't blame him. You know the seed's been pretty quick.
For sure.
Down
That's
he
gonna
goes.
GG's in chat for GFE of Sphere Affinity. It's going to be our first running across the bridge. Grab that Triforce. I'll get you in a time here. GFE finishes in first place with a time of 1:21:27.
GGGFE.
GG to him. P-Train not too far behind. You see EmoSaru and apathyduck also, relatively close. They're just a half of the climb away.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not even sure the big difference there. I think maybe just the fact that Sphere Affinity pulled the trigger on Aga 2 or Aga 1 before they did. What played into part of that is they checked early, and U-Tin got that information a bit later.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like I need like a couple days and some accessories. Let's put it that way, to help me dissect this match and figure out what actually made the difference, because it was really real hard to pay attention to everything that was going on. It was so chaotic at the start with so many items and everyone in different spots.
For sure. Fast and furious, for sure.
Duck remembering that the door just opens and getting the dash out as well. But yeah, like, just let's evaluate the Randomizer on this a little bit while we wait for them to finish up. I'm very happy with the amount of high nexes. A little bit disappointed in the lack of chain chomps and roller bars. And P-Train with the kill as well. Gonna be finishing this off.
Yeah, get your G's in chat for P-Train and Surfinity as they take game one. P-Train finishes with a time of 1:23.27, 2 minutes exactly behind his partner GFE.
GG's, P-Train, GFE, Spherefinity.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good. And you're actually joined by Surfinity right now. GG's, guys.
Hey, GG's.
So, were you ready for Dark Aga and Randomizer? No fire.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Not exactly. No. I'm assuming that lamp is either back at Thieves Town or TR, because that's all I can think of.
Oh,
Wouldn't it be nice to know?
yeah, we never saw the back of Thieves Town. We forgot about that. So, well, let me ask you how you guys feeling after that?
I mean,
good. We won.
feels pretty good knowing I'm safe from relegation now.
Yeah, the early game of that was really weird because I know GFE mentioned that he was like slightly on tilt because he died in Chicken Hut.
Yeah.
And then I found the keys to the kingdom, boots, 2 swords, and I go to Mini Moldorm and find like a literal cornucopia of items.
Yeah,
Like
I died in
flippers,
Chicken Hut, and the next thing I hear is, oh, here's boots. Oh, here's a sword. Oh, Bottle Vendor had a sword too. Like, yeah, that would have been nice to have in Chicken Hut.
It ended up being a really nice co-op seed though, because I don't know that we were ever doing the same thing.
Yeah, from a commentator's perspective, it was literally impossible to follow because there was so many items and everyone was doing different things the whole time. Like, Jiffy, you could have smooth played that. You guaranteed you didn't remember he died in Chicken Hut Fear, did you? I sure as heck didn't. But no,
Remember
it was a blast.
I'm sure Fear roasted me as soon as that happened. But,
honestly, we were just holding on, man. It was wild at the start. There was so many items everywhere, and just trying to even watch what was happening. We missed the fact that you guys scouted. Oh, that was crazy, and we missed the fact that you guys had scouted that fire rod for like half the seed until chat pointed it out to us, and then we're just praying for Dark Aga, and then it came through to fruition, and we were just a couple of happy fellows.
Yeah,
actually disappointed how easy that Dark Aga was.
That was lucky. I mean, usually you get a chain chomp or two, but not this time.
Lumberjack's kind of an awkward call in Enemizer because usually in standard or open mode you have 2 bush crabs, a tree pull that you're going to get, so it makes a little bit more sense to route that way. And in Enemizer you're not necessarily guaranteed to have that, at least not easily. So, but I don't know. I felt like playing conservative. I was debating on checking Agina, Dam and Agina before doing Mini Moldorm. I was like, you know what? Let's just this is not the race to play tricks and try to gamble away on. So, if anything, gamble with your conservative checks, not with skips. So, unfortunately, that played out this scene.
Yeah.
So what was the conversation like when you found Samaria? Was it where
I feel horrible about Swamp? that was the conversation. I'm very sad I did Swamp Pellets.
Yeah, and I guess
the big conversation was Meyer versus Dark Aga. And because GFE almost wanted to go see if he could do Meyer without needing the fire
and then
source.
P-Train convinced me to do the other.
Yeah, because you're like double dipping Meyer at that point, just gonna feel bad. Even though Lamp could have technically been there, I believe.
Yeah, I think
it could have been there.
We were sort of talking about it at the time too, and I think you guys sort of settled where I would have as well. It's like, send someone there and see what it's like, and if it's terrible, we'll go look for the lamp, right? Like, at least we know we need it at that point. But you guys had a bunch of health. You could have got magic if needed or whatever. I think it was the right call, and obviously that's what Wu-Tang Clan did as well. They did dip Meyer first before picking up the before going up to Aga Tower, but yeah, it just seemed like that's really what it wanted to do in the seed with the lamp in an annoying spot.
Yeah, we did get EmoSaru finished here. Let me get you the time. She finished third place, 1:26.01. So GG's to EmoSaru and the Wu-Tang Clan. as Duck finishes up his Ganon fight.
Hopefully this is the start to a week full of dark Enemies seeds, because those are always fun.
Are
Jiffy,
they?
you like the weirdest stuff.
No.
I'm not a big fan of the dark part, to be honest, but I do like my Enemizer, that's true. Even if it killed me. By the way, I nearly died to Argus in the back of Mire, so yeah.
Oh yeah, we've noticed that.
Oh, I was freaking out about getting stuck in Herapod. I soft locked the game. That was the
And
worst.
if I can, I'd like to say that B-Train had an unfair advantage on Helma 2.
Yeah, because you wasted your bombs, bro. We all know.
Oh man,
and
he
that's,
didn't even have to fight that guy.
I'm joking.
that's a GG for apathyduck as he gets ready to cross the bridge and finishes with a time of 1:29:23. We'll see if he wants to talk. We are joined by EmoSaru and apathyduck. GG's.
GG's, guys. Great run.
Yo, GG's.
GG's all.
GG's.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I kind of want to actually go watch that one back. But the good thing is that like our season was done so many weeks ago that like we both hate racing Enemizer, but we don't have to care, which is awesome. So it's pretty great.
Yeah, I've got a question for the other team. Where was Book?
That was early.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had it, and she has no idea where it was, and we were thinking we might need it.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering where it was.
There were several options for where it could have been, but when did you guys check Lumberjacks?
Right off
At
the
the
bat.
very beginning, I routed that way out of sync.
Are we gonna have this argument right now?
That seems really smart.
It's not. Check it with the boots. Did you know boots make you go faster, and it's faster to check fast things when you're fast?
It's just our normal. It's our normal route always.
Yeah.
In co-op. I don't know. I just don't like
Even
leaving
though-
it there.
Even though there's no
you got-
bush crab that way.
Yeah, you guys seem like you have a really smart route.
It's not though. We can go over this again if you want.
Honestly,
So what was this
that's why-
miscommunication? That's what I'm curious about.
Frost and I were talking about
I mean,
this,
it was
and we're
like
not sure where the difference was. I guess it was the fact that they knew Fire Rod was there, so they made the call a little bit earlier than you. But I mean,
we weren't.
there was so much happening so fast.
I found the
that-
fire rod premise exactly right when she found Kane, so it's not like we wasted much time doing it. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was like a huge difference. It was definitely like a thing. I that's kind of why I want to watch it back, because I actually don't know where the difference would have been, given that I guess at least one of us each cleared swamp, which is what I thought the difference was going to be. So I don't know. Just have to see. But
Yeah. GFE cleared swamp. I full cleared pod, which felt awful. And then I also hard locked, or not hard locked, but soft locked, doing Herapot
oof.
right before GT. So I had to save a quit out of that.
2 minutes is from quick swap, so there's 2 minutes for them right there.
That is true. Duck is a
I won't deny this.
I still hate it, but I've acknowledged the fundamental truth that you can't actually race Randomizer without using it, despite what the
so-
other side would say. So,
So have I.
well, yeah, but I've practiced doing it.
Yeah, and the other thing is with like the Randomizer, it's hard to gauge even like the execution losses because it's not the same as normally. So it's really, this seed specifically, because there were so many items so fast and being co-op, you guys were all in different spots, all picking up major items at the same time. It was almost impossible to follow from a commentary perspective, and yeah, it was wild.
I think the
Yeah,
flip
Jim-
side is that there was an available tempered sword really, really early this seed.
Yeah.
Which when it comes to Enemizer, like that's one of the best things that can happen is like, because once you've got tempered sword, there are very few enemies in the game that are truly terrifying, right? Like, so that was huge. That was really nice.
I mean, early boots, early hook shot, which is always nice in Enemizer.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the items that are important in Enemizer and how important Lamp was. little did I know that nobody would ever find the lamp in here, and you guys actually able to navigate your way through Aga 1 in Enemizer without a fire rod. It was really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, besides the Aga one, like, of course, Aga was the rest of the dark rooms are free. Like the going up Death Mountain, there was like all the spikes around the walls. So like that was easy. Pod was free, and then we had bombos for the other stuff too. So like that was all incredibly easy. And then Aga Tower is the one that had the Hinoxes, which was just wonderful.
Were you never more excited to see Hinoxes in a dark room than when you were playing this one for sure?
Yeah, I mean, if it could have been something like big spikes or rollers, and it would have been like impossible. So
Yeah.
Well,
I never had an invulnerability item because she found both, and they were both in bad spots, and everyone out of my way for them.
I had the cane and GFE had the cape. I ended up playing the dark maze. Or I got lost in the dark maze. Something hit me and knocked me off, and then a Gibdo was just on top of me. I had to mirror, like, dark maze was a part 2 for me. I
did the same. The thing that got me was there was something that was like hitting me over and over again. I thought I was gonna die, but like I got past that, and then I didn't realize like the game is weird, right? Like some of the one tile gaps you can squeeze through with sword out, and some you can't. And I didn't realize that was one you couldn't do it on.
I
had trouble with that too.
I think that has to do with how you're facing, although I might be wrong. I think if you're facing the gap, it works. If you're not facing the gap,
facing does affect it, for sure. But it's still weird. Like, and even then, like, you'll kind of like slide over the gap. Like, even if you can actually move through it with your sword out, like sometimes you'll actually slide over it.
Yeah,
if you're just trying to like diagonal through, so it can make it harder than you would expect to find the gap. But
the pit room, I was actually pushing like a Samaria block just to make sure that I didn't fall.
That actually wouldn't have been a bad idea, but yeah, I was just like I fell once in there and I got it the second try. So it wasn't too bad. The Hinoxes were really annoying, but Tempered Sword made it a lot better.
Yeah, they're annoying, but I mean, on the bright side, at least they're visible and can kind of give you an idea of where you're at if you lose your bearings.
GFE was hooking me up more than I was to him. Specifically, like in the Gauntlet, he was like, "Dude, just ether everything." I was like, "All right, let's go." So Gauntlet ended up being pretty quick for me, and GFE was giving me a lot of hints there.
I refuse to ether on Gauntlet on principle.
It feels dirty.
It does. No, it just feels
like I don't like Helmosaurs on treadmills.
Yeah, Helmosaurs are the worst. Yeah. Every single enemy in the Gauntlet was killable to ether, except for, I guess, like the Red Bari in the first room where you just...
The Red Bari, yeah. I told P-Train if you can get to it, hit it first.
It's one of the reasons I don't like this mode, because like all the cool strats, like there's so many in Ganon's Tower too, and it's like, yeah, there's out the window. You don't know what's going to be in there, so just ether. Screw it. It's like, okay.
I hovered Helmosaur and then got my butt kicked by that little skull thing that bounces around.
We should.
Like it took me like 45 seconds to get up the staircase, like right outside of it.
We should have just all hovered to make GFE feel bad.
I mean, can you Helmosaur bounce? Is that a thing?
Can you Helmosaur bounce? I don't know.
I feel like you get
someone go research that.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who could possibly research bouncing.
Oh man,
it seems like a cool play to me.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna burn this house down. I swear to God.
Yeah, GG's guys. We really enjoyed the race.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the insane amount of items that you had early on, and the fact that no one was in the same spot at the same time ever until the end was pretty incredible and really honestly hard to watch for us, because you had so much open, so it allowed both teams to really explore all the different areas pretty quickly. I mean, you were looking for Lamp Samaria after like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so basically it made the swamp dip feel stupid.
Yeah,
but I did it anyway.
Thinking back on it, I can't even imagine what this must have been like to try and commentate.
We both generally blathered on about generic things while the play was happening, right? Like, it's so hard to watch what's happening. It was the opening especially was absolutely bananas, and especially with Enemizer, you're trying to get a key on that. It was really fun to watch, but I'm not going to say we did a great job of sort of calling it and explaining it. It was wild.
Did anyone happen to see where my left side swamp small key went the first time? Because I really would have liked to have it.
Yeah, you
Instead of that
despawned
balloon
it.
enemy
Yeah.
despawning it. I know, the balloon enemy did it. I was worried I was going to have to mirror.
Yeah, I thought it was reset after you went out the room and reset the room, but I wasn't sure, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was glad it was reset or not, because if I'd have mirrored, I would have just left and just forgot left side swamp.
Any last thoughts about the seed, or even this is the final week of the league. Unfortunately for both teams, things didn't go as you had planned. Unbelievably, the Wu-Tang Clan will be relegated to the Open. I'm shocked, honestly, because I'm a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. But any just last thoughts of the season or anything?
I'll go first. This is my last race of the season, so thank you, Fear, for all that you do putting this stuff together. League is always fun, even if we don't. For some reason, Spherefinity just League is not for us. We were talking about this in Discord. Like, I feel like we're good individual runners, but we just never see that represented necessarily on the league scoreboard. So, but nevertheless, this is always a pleasure. I absolutely love working with Sabo, working with GFE, playing through the season. Both excellent runners. I really enjoy the modes, with the exception of spoiler co-op. And it's just, honestly, it's real fun. You get a race with people that you may not get to face competitively otherwise, and it's a really cool format, and I've really enjoyed it. This season's been wonderful, even if it's not the result we hoped for. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I would like to go next so that I can echo everything that P-Train just said, especially the part about spoiler co-op, but also the part about it being fun. But mostly the part about spoiler co-op. But yeah, I mean, I was saying in race chat earlier, like a few weeks ago, I had one of the most heartbreaking randomizer nights of my life when I watched my partner Solski lose his freaking mind in the Turtle Rock dark platform maze. And I was like, okay, well, Duck's gonna redeem us immediately after. And that was the night that he had to forfeit that race because he lost track of the Harabay, which is I mean, I know exactly what happened. It sucks. This is not a blame thing, but it's the watching that happen. It's I don't know. Everything from here on out has just been for funsies, and funsies is fun. So it's been good, and thanks to everybody for doing it. Unfortunately, Duck and I have to race again later this week. So
I'll just echo all the things that everyone said and just remind Emo that I'm the only one with a win this season.
Just gesture vaguely at my ladder record.
I mean, it's just the Wu-Tang Clan,
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan in real life, right? The U is the U, the Woo is the Woo, and yet ODB's got to go do his own thing, and Method's got to go.
Exactly, the solo projects are very important. It's only,
100%,
it's only when Duck likes to joke that he's cursed, and
Is it a joke at this point?
Well, I don't even know if it's a joke anymore. That's what I was gonna say. Is that there's the evidence is mounting that he might actually just be cursed for randomizer. So. He just slammed something on the desk, so I'll probably be in trouble in a little bit. It's fine.
I'll go ahead and echo everybody's echo, especially that thing about spoiler co-op that both Emo and P-Train said. But as Emo was saying there, I mean, you always hope to do well. Things go wrong. I mean, even for myself in this season, should have had another 3 points for us, but took that Ganon fall against Jamie Sure. Things like that happen. Sometimes on the big stage it feels bad, but I mean the league's all about fun, and it's awesome to have y'all put in all the effort, Fear, and all the other admins and mods that do so much for this. So really appreciate it. Also, shout outs to our trackers for this match too. I know the trackers are always in the background, but y'all talked about how hard this was to keep up with. Without them, it'd be even more insane.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to them.
Just one quick thing I forgot.
We got our money's worth out of them this race.
One thing I forgot to say is that everyone's wrong and spoiler co-op was the only good mode.
3-1.
I think what's fun about the league is the fact that it's not just open. We're not just all doing open seeds. We're not all just doing casual boots. The fact that it is mixed up and everyone has a week.
Yeah.
Because I hear it all that everyone hates, and it's all different from every single.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what makes I hate Enemizer. I really do, and yet
Yeah,
I've got to
me
play
too.
it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the room right now.
Yeah, I
that
think everyone
loves
just hates this
Randomizer.
week. I don't know what you're
So-
talking about.
I will say though, like
take
if you had to
exception
have
to that.
Enemizer, if you had to have Enemizer, like I think this is a really good way to go about it. Because I mean, I'm sure Apathy and Emo echo this, but being an NMG nerd, like you want to do the NMG strats, and when you get boots and you have a sword, there are just certain things that it just feels good to play the game because you know how to react in all the rooms, and Enemizer takes all that and turns it on its head. But to do this in a co-op format, it actually like really softens that blow, because then you're just commiserating with your partner, like, oh, this room sucks, like, or either that, or you're scouting the room for your opponent, like, hey, watch out, there's a wall master here, you might want to be careful. So I don't know. If it like, I'm not saying this week needs to be done with or anything like that, but no, as far as Enemizer goes, like I really enjoy it in the co-op format, and to your point, Veer, it's nice to be stretched, because like I will never ever volunteer to do a swordless seed, but if it came up in League, I'm obviously not going to quit the League over it. So
See, I say bring the swordless on, just not the swordless Enemizer. But
Yep.
Our strategy for softening the blow of the Enemizer, I think, was more to just curse independently. So rather than necessarily trying to make the other person feel better, it was really just to curse loudly, independently, and often simultaneously. So
Yeah.
that was.
I mean, misery loves
Yeah.
company, right?
This is probably the least worst way to do Enemizer, because a lot of the stuff that's really bad about Enemizer, like finding bosses you can't kill randomly, like the fact that it's co-op reduces that, and like you can kind of get a heads up about like some of the
Yeah.
Thieves Town is just impossible. Like if there was I mean, that didn't really come to the seed, but like some of that stuff would also get softened. So yeah, if you had to do it, like this is the least bad way. Although we had a pretty friendly seed with again boots in it, so I'm fearful for what Thursday's going to be.
All right, Frost, you got anything before we wrap this up?
No, dude, just want to say GG's to all the runners. That was super fun race to watch. One of the most chaotic rando races I've ever seen between the Atomizer and the items, and it was a blast to get back on the mic with you again. And yeah, I'm gonna step out of here quickly and watch the Atomite Bills finally have a good season and win a game. So GG's to everybody, and everyone have a good night.
Yeah, so make sure you're following all the runners. We got the links to chat and big shout out to our trackers. GG's to everyone. Good luck on your last race on, I believe you said it was Thursday. 31 more invitational races this week, so you're gonna see a lot of random enemies in the overworld and dungeons. So let's check it out, and then we head into the playoffs. So yeah, make sure you're following all the SpeedGaming channels, the league channels, and thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time.